lot of JDM fanboys would be very jealous right now.
Oh, this car is my absolute pride and joy. I've had it for 4 years now, and doing my best to restore it back to original without taking away any of the original authenticity of the car. Fixed it up. I've done little things like apparently people need to learn to drive. I've done the boot struts because they lost their pressure a while back, and I fixed the original aerial. When I bought the car, it came with a pod filter, nice, awesome Repco pod filter, which did nothing for the car's aesthetics. So I bought all original air intakes.
Basically just been restoring it back to factory and
back to its former glory.
There's a few little, I guess, dings and blemishes around the place, which we'll go over soon. And
any 24, 25-year-old car is going to have that going with it. It's got low Ks, so it's quite good with that.
It's quite a comfortable car to sit in. Like the seats in it for a 25-year-old car are actually pretty comfortable.
I do quite like them. They're the original seats. Okay, the original seats, but they're almost bucket seats.
Yeah, they sort of wrap around you just that little bit.
Yeah, they wrap around you quite comfortably, and it's a real low ride. It's factory height, which I couldn't actually tell you how far this car is off the ground. But the suspension it comes with is really, really nice because it's real stiff to the point where there's no body roll when you go around corners. The car doesn't lean whatsoever, but it's still soft enough that if you hit a bump, the suspension is quite forgiving.
Yep.
And you don't shatter your teeth every speed bump you hit.
And yes, it might be an auto, but where's your Supra?
It's a little bit retarded, but it does the job.
I don't see why there's such a big thing about, oh, it's auto and all this. It's like,
see, I love the fan base of the Supra. The original people that got into Supras, they're really good because they love the car for what it is, the stylings, the body of the car, the engine, everything about the car.
They actually love it. It's not just about what drivetrain it's got, what transmission it's got, sorry.
But nowadays, the only people that have hate for the Supra are the little 12-year-olds that think it's real cool.
And I think they come stock with like 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah,
and
stock 1,000 horsepower, and yeah, the moment you go to a meet and people, you get 50-50. 50% of the people are people that genuinely enjoy your car, and they're the older generation, people that are at least sort of 24, 25 and upwards that have genuine care for a car. And the other 50% are the little 12-year-old kids like, oh my god, it's a Supra, and they run up and they see it's automatic and oh shit, it's a horrible car. It's like, bro, come on. Like, the moment your balls drop and you can finally get a license, you realize what these cars are worth and what they can do, even with a stock automatic drivetrain.
Well, because I've actually had the pleasure of driving this, and oh my god, like, it doesn't matter about the transmission at all that it's an automatic. It was just so good to drive. I didn't get to like give it a good hoon, but I put my foot down a couple times, and it's just the sound of it, just the feel of driving it is just amazing. Like, this thing is a driver's car. It was designed to be driven. It was designed for the driver to enjoy driving. And we'll go over it a little bit soon, but you can see just from in here to the dashboard, it just wraps around the driver's seat. Everything. You feel enclosed. It feels like you're in a cockpit. It feels like you're in a jet plane almost. Just the way it all wraps around you. It's really made to just have this amazing driving experience, which I haven't driven too many JDM cars or JDM Legends like this, but I haven't seen any that is this focused on making it a driver's experience that the Supra has. And for a car that's now, what, 25 years old, it stacks up. It's just phenomenal. The look of it, you get, like, I had when I was driving the car, I'm so glad I had this experience. I was driving it and I had this little kid go out the side of his window like, oh my god, a Supra! And you see them freak out, and that's one of the great things about this car. And I think you noticed that a lot, just turning up to meets, everyone turns their heads and looks.
it's quite gratifying. It's a big ego booster, you know. You just go out for a drive and every 1 in 5 heads that turn their head and oh yeah, and you get a nice thumbs up, or you get if I drive this on a daily basis, I probably get at least 4 times a day people that like they'll be driving and they'll whip their head around and not looking at the road or where they're going, and they'll just be like, oh my god, is that a Supra? And everyone just yells it out.
Well, no, what was it?
It's quite fun to see, but yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, because I noticed when I was driving behind Isaac on the way to a meet, we're driving out west, there was like, I think there's a motorbike gang. Anyway, they were driving on the opposite side of the motorway. They're all looking forward, and I noticed one of them like drive past, and he just whipped his head around to look at to look at Isaac's Supra, and that like, there's just not everyone knows what the car is, but those who do know don't get to see them very often, and you just get such a cool reaction from a lot of people when they see the car, which is.
But I'm real happy to be, you know, one of the owners of this car, and
yeah,
being able to just drive it for what it is, get the privilege of being able to drive it whenever I want, and scraping potholes every now and then, and the daily JDM struggle.
So now let's get out and actually have a look at the car from the outside and go over it a little bit.
Bonnet's open.
Sweet. Gonna open it up.
Yeah, bro.
Here's the little thing on the side. Isaac's gonna get this replaced soon, so.
Nice hit and run. The owner was kind enough not to leave their details.
Oh, it sucks. Especially on a car like this. So here's the infamous 2JZ engine. So what are you gonna get done on the inside of the engine bay?
On the engine bay, what I want to get done is I want to hopefully one day get the battery not replaced. I want to move it,
relocate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Relocate it to the rear, just for a bit of aesthetically pleasing. I've always been a real fan of like the naked engine bay.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure I want to go as hard as other people do, but I just want a little less, so it's really just focused on the engine. One day I want to turbo it. I got this engine in the car, it's all original, and it's got, I think, 60,000 original Ks on it, so
yep.
It's still really low Ks. So instead of just plus 10, and even though I know these engine bays are completely fucking bulletproof,
yeah,
I just want to, I want to get it all reinforced, bore it out, do everything I'm supposed to do. And I do want to plus tier it, but plus tier it in a way that would benefit the engine and not just absolutely ruin it for one day you push 1 too many pounds of boost and it shits the whole engine block.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, also with this build, you've said you're not going to do like a 1,000 horsepower build. You still want it to be drivable and basically, I guess, an enjoyable weekend car is the main goal for this.
Because I think one day in a perfect world, I'll push maybe 750.
Yeah.
But no more than that. I mean,
which I think is like on stock internals is what is a 2J. Don't quote me on this, I might be wrong, probably am wrong, but I believe that 750 is roughly what the stock internals of a Supra can handle, because I'm pretty sure it's already got like I don't know if it's forged internals, but I know it's got a cast iron block.
I think, I know I'm going to get this wrong, one's cast iron and one's aluminium, so the top and the bottom is either cast iron and aluminium, or it's the other way around.
I think it's cast iron bottom end.
Sure.
Yeah, I think. Someone's going to correct us, but who cares.
But I do want to buy a cam cover, because this car conveniently didn't come with a cam cover, but one day I'll have to
broken cam cover, you can see that.
I don't know, it came like that, and it's weird, because I've googled it, and there's like a plastic cam cover that shoots all the way back, and it looks real nice, and you can get some really beautiful custom ones. Yeah. But yeah, one day maybe get. I've always been a fan of gold, but at the moment I'm really unsure about it, because I was planning on changing the badges to gold.
Blacking, not blacking them out, but changing the badges to gold.
Yeah, and the Supra wording logo on the rear, I wanted to change that to gold. But I got told there by Dan that it would be quite good to do it eventually, but the car needs to be quite built to do it.
Yeah, it was
need to change the rims as well.
Yeah, because what I said was that when you like cars with like silver rims or like this, when they've got gold badging, it's just they clash a little bit. If you want the car to look nice and sorry, more shit out. If you want the car to sort of look nice and look the part, I said you'd want like gold rims and then to do the gold badging. I personally really like the black badging on the Supra. You can see it here. So like making those gold, but then if you're going to do that, you definitely want gold rims to just make it all match. I think gold emblems with silver rims just doesn't quite look the best.
Yeah, because that was my original plan, was to spend like 40k on some beautiful gold rims that I'd seen on Facebook. I thought they looked real awesome, but then when I had that idea, I also really wanted to just like trick the car out and have it as an absolute fucking pimpmobile.
Yeah.
Big fuck off wing and the wide as tires and so low to the ground.
Or as we know it, a Dan Wang.
Yeah, put on a big old Dan Wang. Sack it to the point where you scrape on leaves. But after thinking about that, I've changed my idea and I want to keep it looking actually almost practically like it is.
Yeah.
I want to get some custom rims made. I'm looking around at the moment, because currently I'm running 16-inch rims and I do quite like the style, but I want to get custom rims made that are maybe an inch or two wider, because currently there's just not flush to the body. And
no, you can see it.
You can real noticeably
just
see
the stock rims. You don't sort of realize till you're up and close how small the stock rims are compared to the width of the body. So I mean, I guess the idea is to get it sort of flush, or just that little bit of poke out the side where it's just nice and stanced.
If I made them like 2 inches wider, and I think I wanted maybe 3 inches larger, so maybe running 19s in the rear and maybe 18s in the front, don't know yet, but just that little bit extra I think would look so much nicer, but not change the original look. Yeah. So it still looks really stock, but just looks that little bit more. Yeah. So basically just getting like some custom rims made up that look like the exactly like
the stock rims, just wider and slightly bigger. I guess then you'd need to do adjustable coilovers.
Yeah, I would.
But that's all right.
And I do want it a little bit lower. Like you notice it that there is a little bit of clearance.
Yeah, you can sort of see it. But I guess that's just stock ride height.
Yeah. So just that little bit extra would, I think, go a lot further. Yeah,
just make the car look just that more harsh
and without taking away from I wouldn't take away from the original look of the car, and you're not changing it, so to speak. Yeah.
Should we have a look inside the boot in the rear? I've seen people like delete the wings off their Supras, and it just it looks naked. It doesn't look
it makes
right.
The car look bald.
It does. It looks like it's missing something. I think just the wing on these are just so stunning. Yeah. I don't like aftermarket wings on these. I mean, everyone's got their own preference, but I think just the stock wing is just absolutely stunning. Yeah. It just ties the whole car in together.
And it's one of the most iconic looks of this car.
Yeah, is with the wing.
So the moment you take away from that, you're taking away from
the whole look of the car. And like you see photos of them without the wing. People might like those, but like it without the wing, but it looks naked. It looks like it's missing something. Yeah. So we've got the boot in here. Is the boot cover in? Did you? Yep. Oh, yep. You put the boot cover in. So Isaac custom made this, which is really cool. Do you want to explain why you had to custom make it?
So I'm pretty sure they do come with boot floors when they come out, but I think it's made of that like plasticky core flute material, and it only just covers the wheel. Yeah. So while it looks all right, and I mean when the carpet's down like it is, let's not wreck the carpet. Yeah. Fix that. Yeah, so when the car comes, it does have a boot floor, but it's not enough in my opinion. So alright, let's just do that.
We might need to edit that out. That was actually quite funny. Sweet, now with that back in.
Yeah, so they did come with a boot floor, but it was real flimsy, and the moment you put anything more than like your backpack on top of it, it would just bend and buckle, and it would just distort, and it wouldn't quite have the elasticity to pop itself back in. So I decided to make a custom boot floor for mine. it took me a long time because I had to take the carpet out, measure it on this piece of like MDF that I used.
Yeah.
Turns out it was way wrong, and I had to go back and change the shape of it like 20 times just to get it right. But yeah, then I eventually found out the right size and shape and blah 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 for it. So I decided to paint it myself, and I painted it gold when I first had the idea of the gold, but I do think it's quite a standout-ish.
I do like it. It's really cool. It looks nice. You've done a really good job with it. It fits really well.
And yeah, decided to make a little side hustle, little side business on making them.
There you go. So if anyone wants a custom Supra boot floor, hit up NZ Octane, and then we can pass you on to Isaac, or hit up Overweight Salika on Instagram. That's
Hello.
Isaac. Well, I'll add the Instagram tag, but we can always send you to him. If anyone wants a custom Supra boot floor,
I paint them all by hand, and I've got stencils cut out at home for the badging, and I custom paint it to the color of your car. The original has always been black, but hey, if you want another color, I'm sure I can do my best to paint it for you. But yeah, I've got one I've just currently made for a mate of mine who has like a candy red Supra, and I've done it in candy red, which I'm sure we can show you when we get back.
Yep.
The other one I've made, and I think that it pops really well. You see the speakers in here as well. They didn't come stock. I bought those because as much as I love this car, the original sound system is paper speakers, and they can only pop out like 3 decibels before they distort.
so they're just, well, I guess you expect that from a 25-year-old car.
And you can probably just peek through there. I've changed the head unit. As much as I love the look of the old head unit, it's a cassette player, and it just...
You want a more modern feel.
Yeah.
You want to actually play Bluetooth, like play phones from your song with the Bluetooth.
Play my music when I want to play my music, and as loud as I want to play it. The car comes stock with 4-inch speakers in the front doors and 6s just behind the driver and the passenger seat.
Yeah.
But I've changed those out to, I'm running, I think they're kickers at the moment, just because I wanted to go as good as I can, as quick as I could, and not halfway down the track realised I bought some duds and had to swap them out again. I'm hoping to put a sub in here just for a little bit of extra bass, and then that's my whole boot just completely chock-a-block.
I remember that the other week, you trying to install the wiring. That was
weeks,
so
man.
amusing.
And I cannot get the wiring through the firewall. For the life of me, there is no hole. But, albeit without drilling a big fuck-off hole through the firewall, I think what I'm going to do is, I heard that you can pop the manual bung out, the manual conversion bung. If you pop that out, I'm just going to run it through there. It's about the only easy, liable way I think we can do it to
get your sub.
To get through the firewall without drilling holes in this car.
Yeah, we don't really want to go drilling holes in this thing.
No, I don't think it'll particularly go well for the resale value.
Let's have a look at this wing again, because we were talking about it before when the boot was up, but it just, it suits the car. I've seen the Heritage wing put on the Mark 5 Supras.
Okay.
And they then lose access to the boot.
Oh yeah.
Because it
attaches
the way that it is, it attaches over the body and the boot, but it just makes the Mark 5 Supra look so much better using the Mark 4 Heritage wing. But this car just, I won't go over there because it's too muddy, but that just looks so good. So good.
I do really like the design of it. I never really noticed it. You always think it's just like, a looks thing, but when you're sitting in the driver's seat and looking in the rear view mirror, it's designed, I think, perfectly in my opinion, because when you look out the rear view mirror, it fits perfectly in the gap between the boot and the wing.
Yep.
You don't see any wing, and it fits just around the edges of your mirror.
Yep.
So you don't lose any visibility whatsoever. You see some cars that have it, and you look in the rear view mirror and it's all you see. You just see wing, and you lose a good chunk of your rear view mirror.
Yeah.
So I'm really chuffed with the design of this car and just the absolute flow of it.
So this is what I was mentioning before, and what we could see earlier was the dash just wraps around you. So you got fuel, temp, battery, you got your revs right in front of you, because that's more important than your speedo that's off to the side. I think you got a clock there. You got your two air conditioning which looks really cool. Just the whole look of it. Mirrors over here, got all your buttons and everything over here, and then yeah, got inside the back here, nice
On
little
paper,
toy.
it's a 4-seater, but when you look back, like
There's no way that you're fitting.
if you and your friend are over 6 foot, you're not allowed other people in this car.
Well, because you and I, well, I'm 6'4", you're
6'2", something like
6'2".
that.
So we've got the seats all the way back, and there is just no space in there.
The
So
seats are crushing on the rear seat, so I mean, I've taken 4 people in this car, but people in the back are playing Twister with each other, and it's not a fun time for them.
no, but it does look nice. I guess if you're 5'4" and driving the car and you've got your seat all the way forward, then it's fine. But when you're tall like us, it's not really, you wouldn't want to be sitting behind.
You'll have one friend and that's it, no more.
Pretty much, it's basically a 2-seater. But this is just, it's just such a phenomenal feel to be sitting in here. You've got actually, I only just noticed this now, up here, that's where all your dash buttons are.
Same over
You got
there.
off over the side there, check engine, oil, and all that. It's probably just because the keys in there that's on. But it just, you've got everything right in front of you, just wrapped around. They are just, Toyota really had the driver in mind when designing this car. It's so comfortable to sit in for someone that's 6'4". There's like enough room.
Yeah.
And if you're much taller than that, maybe you'll struggle because you can't get the seats much further back.
No.
But they did such an amazing job with this car. I really wish that car companies would go back to making cars like this,
Oh, yeah.
rather than just, I don't know what they're doing now, but make a car for the driver. You can see in there in the rearview mirror, the wing doesn't sort of protrude too much when you're sitting here. Sort of just around the outsides of the mirror there you can see it, but you've got vision right through the middle there. And yeah, they really thought about everything with this car. It basically goes along the roof line there. You do it and I'll film it from the rear. That sounds so good, the sound of the 2J.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yep. Oh, it sounds so good.
Another little thing I actually want to get done is, I don't particularly want to straight pipe it, but while it's still currently stock, I want to do a cat delete on it just so it has a little bit more of a rumble.
Yeah. It also gives you just that little bit more performance out of it.
Like a few years ago, I got bored one day, so I was like, alright, I want to see what this is. And I just completely undid the exhaust from the... So there was the manifold and the cat, and then I just took it off from there.
Yeah.
And that thing, it sounds amazing. It rumbles like nothing else, and it's just... Oh shit. He's gonna slay
How
when
cool
he is
is
older.
that?
He is gonna slay.
Oh man, that is awesome. I think we've been shown up.
He has more sex appeal than I do right now.
Yeah, I think so. It looks like an old school Stingray. 1967. Must be a Stingray. That's cool. Yeah, it is. Oh, nice.
Don't pull out, don't pull out, don't pull out, don't pull out, don't pull out.
Oh man. That just sounds so good. That pulls so hard. Oh. Sweet, so here's the boot lid that you were talking
The
about.
other one, I painted this one, and I mean, there's the back sides, and hopefully no one will see this, but I'm quite happy with how it turned out. This is the red version of what I've done.
That looks really cool.
it's a bit more standoutish and
Yeah, and I guess it goes with the car that
Yeah.
you're doing it for.
Yeah, I spray painted the gold, but that was just a plain one. But this is like an enamel spray, so there's like a little bit of a softer texture to it, I suppose is the way to put it.
Yep.
And I think it takes, you don't see as much of the black through it either, so I'm quite happy with it.
It looks really nice. So, if you want a custom Supra boot floor,
Yep.
hit up Overweight Salika on Instagram,
Yep.
and he can make you one.
Sweet.
How much are you selling these for?
I'm hoping to sell them for about 95 bucks. I think it's about as low as I can go, and I mean, I'm not making fuck all out of it, but I'm happy if I can sort of do something and give someone kind of something a bit personal as well towards their car.
Yeah.
I'll be quite happy with that, and the knowledge that I've done something for them like
Yep.
that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Thank you very much.
I guess it's time that we wrap this video up. Thank you very much for showing us your Supra.
That's all
it's
good,
awesome
anytime.
getting to see one of these JDM legends up close and just take a ride in it, get to go for a little bit, taken for a little bit of a hone, sit in it, and just go over it. And yeah, it's not often that you see these around, and not often that you actually get to sit in one and be taken for a drive. So it's absolutely a phenomenal experience. Hit up Overweight Salika on Instagram. Make sure you follow us, NZ Octane on Instagram. Isaac is also part of BRS, so follow BRS on Instagram. Got to have more content coming out involving the club. So the BRS content, we'll put that up on the NZ Octane YouTube channel, and we'll make a separate playlist for that stuff. We've got some stuff hopefully coming with that for the Supra, for the Chaser part of the club, and all that few other boys in the club, so hopefully get some more car content up around that. But yeah, thank you very much, and we will see you guys next time.